This nostalgia is almost more of an answer to the question we get a lot in person. Why the hell is our website named Construx Nunchux? Well, we've already told you what Construx Nunchucks are, but why did we name our website after it? Paul touched upon it. He told you it's phonetically pleasing, and of course on the bottom, as we always do, we'll put the link to the nostalgia that we're referring to here. In a previous nostalgia, Paul talked about how it's phonetically pleasing, and how it just harkens back to our childhood. Well, what happened is Paul and I were walking through the Buffalo International Airport. An earlier visit to Jamestown I had. Jamestown Airport is just $300 for a round-trip ticket to Chicago and Jamestown. But you have BIA, which was the cheapest flight. But it's still an hour and a half away. So Paul and I would get to the airport normally just in the nick of time. I ran for many a flight in Buffalo, but one of the few times we actually got there with time to spare, we just walked around and talked and had a heart-to-heart. And Paul, why were we talking about our childhood, and why were we talking about creative things we were doing at the time of our youth?
I think we were writing our play at the time.
Right.
Our unrealized play.
Yeah.
Unfinished play.
Yeah.
And we wanted a place to store all these things, and we had such funny stories. I think you just busted out the WRK to someone new, and we knew how funny our more popular stories were to other people.
Yeah.
And originally...
But I'm asking about the name. Why were we standing in Buffalo International Airport? All I recall about 3 years ago is Paul turned to me, and we were talking about just the stuff we used to do as children. And Paul uttered the phrase Construx Nunchucks and stopped himself in his path and said, he may have gone the traditional route of saying that's a band name and a website name. And honestly, at that point in the airport, we had not even decided to make a website, but Paul jokingly said that's a website name. And the name came first. And next thing I knew, because this was a visit in the summer, next thing I knew, in July, a month or less later, Paul sent me an email to our Blogger account with our password and account name. I was just like, what are we gonna do? Like, okay. So somehow, of all of the ideas Paul and I have ever tossed back and forth, for some reason the idea of Construx Nunchucks stuck in our heads and sounded acceptable for a website name. So we apologize if it's hard to spell, hard to pronounce, hard to understand.
I don't apologize.
I apologize for those things, but it's justified by the fact that A, it means a lot to us, B, it harkens back directly to our childhood, which a lot of our website is based on, and also touches upon our ingenuity, our creativity, and the fact that we haven't ever let go of that spirit of childhood behind that. So I would say that's why it's called Construx Nunchucks. Of course, you know that other possibilities would have been 5 Scoop Kool-Aid and Neely versus Roberts.
All of them are great.
Those are all copyrighted as well.
Yeah.
Cam Neely, we have copyrighted your name. Anyway, Construx Nunchucks, thanks again for sharing all this crap with us.
We love every one of you.
Everything you've ever wanted.